Get ready to build muscle strength and flexibility with this 30-minute calisthenics workout you can do as a follow along with me with no equipment. We'll be finishing up with some mobility exercises, and this workout is for all levels because I'll give you different difficulty progressions for the exercises. We're going to kick this off with a brief dynamic warm-up consisting of 4 40-second exercises for just one round. We're going to start by warming up the ankles, so if you drop onto your left knee, I want you to put your left hand on the right heel and your right hand on top of the knee. We're going to do some outward circles, maximizing the range of motion in the ankle. So draw the knee forwards over the toes, roll round and out. Try and close off the gap between the shin and your shoelaces or the top of your foot as much as possible, and get ready to switch to the other side. So over to the other ankle, straight into it, knee forwards, round and out. So trying to close that shin to shoelace gap off, add in a little bit of pressure with the top hand, clamping the heel down to the floor with the bottom hand. Okay, now hold onto your toes for this one. You're going to sink into a frog squat and then stand into a pike. If you're struggling, you can have your hands a little bit further forwards, sinking into the frog, standing into the pike. As we sink into the frog, knees out, chest up, and as you stand into the pike, draw the chest down in towards your quads. As you sink, posture upright, knees out. As you stand, draw the chest in. Next, we're going to work on some upper body. You can do this standing or kneeling, hands behind your back, draw the elbows back, nice big angel wing overhead, coming back round, relaxing the elbows forwards, pull the elbows back, angel wing arc overhead, back round, drop it. Onto the feet. I'm going to go side to side with these Cossacks. I'm going to point one toe in the air as we bend the opposite knee. This leg should stay nice and straight, feeling a stretch down the inside. I want you to work on also keeping this bent knee pushed out to the side. Make sure that knee is not collapsing in. Push it out. All right, got a brief rest, but we're going to go into 6 calisthenics exercises. We're going to be doing them 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off for 3 rounds. And we'll be starting off with some close grip press-ups. Now you can do full press-ups, but if you're struggling with full press-ups, you can just do the negative part of the rep only. Or maybe you could start with a few full ones, and then when you run out of reps, switch over to those negatives. You're gonna have a relatively close position, just wider than the shoulders. You're gonna lower the chest down, and then come up and sink. I want your elbows to stay nice and tucked into your sides. Chest and hips should be coming down together and then up together. If you're doing the negative only, you're just going to slowly lower down and then reset your position off your knees at the bottom. And controlling that lowering phase. Great job. Okay. Next up, we're going to be doing a hollow hold. Now you can do a half hollow hold if you find this a little bit too challenging. We want your lower back in contact with the floor, but pressed nice and flat. So legs out, arms out. If you're struggling with this, try that half hollow hold where you're gonna bring one knee in. As you can tell, my voice is shaking with that high ab tension. Well done. Okay, next, onto your feet. We're gonna do a very narrow stance split squat. So if you start your right foot forward, your left foot back. If you can't do this, just do a regular body weight squat with a relatively close foot stance. We're gonna come up onto the toe of the back foot and put all the pressure in the front leg. Squatting down, coming back up. We're only gonna do this for 20 seconds per side. Put all the weight in that front leg. That back toe is there just for a little bit of assistance and balance. And switch to the other side. Straight into it. So all my weight's in the front leg. My back toe is only about 6 inches behind my front foot's heel. I'm trying to minimize the help with that back leg. Maximize the knee over toe angle with the front leg. Great job. Okay, next we're going to do some pike push-ups. If you struggle with these, you can just do the negative reps only again. I'm going to be doing these on my knuckles, but it's probably easier to do them with flat hands. So scooting forwards, forehead meets the mat, scooting back. If it helps, unlock your knees to keep your hips nice and high and your tailbone flatter. And you should be making like a shallow triangle shape between your forehead and your hands when it reaches the mat. Elbows shouldn't be flaring directly out to the sides. They should be somewhat tucked in back towards your pockets. You should be able to see your toes the whole time rather than looking directly at the floor. Always finish your rep. Don't worry too much about the timer on these. Okay, next up, I'm going to go for a straight leg dead bug. If you struggle with the straight leg, you can just do a classic 90-degree knee dead bug. So the head's on the floor for this one, opposites down. Now, if you haven't done these, this is going to be as much a mental coordination challenge as it is physical, but you will get used to it. So just like the hollow hold, your lower back should be pressed nice and firmly into the floor, no arching, trying to get as straight top leg as possible. The head can stay on the floor. With a hollow hold, typically you'd have your head off the floor though, but for this dead bug it's going to stay on. Okay, next we're going to go for a reverse plank. Now you can do this as a marching action like me, or you could do it as just a static hold. Palms can be flat. I'm going to do it on my knuckles because it's easy on my wrists, but pick what feels comfortable for you. Squeeze the glutes up, tuck the ribs away. I'm going to go for this alternating march. Whilst we take away one leg support, you should be keeping your glutes nice and locked up high. Trying to avoid dropping the hips. I'm trying to keep my top two ribs tucked down though also to stop myself from arching my lower back. Might feel that hamstring tension as you take away one leg support. Have a nice proud chest, shoulder blades pinned together. Well done. Okay, give yourself a well-earned break. And we're going to go again. So we've got 3 rounds in total. There's 1 done. Try and mix and match between the difficulty level that suits you both. Maybe you might want to start sometimes on the more advanced one. And if you're running out of reps, just switch straight over to the easier variation. we're going back into those relatively close grip push-ups, elbows tucked in nice and tight, controlling the eccentric lowering phase of the lift. Finish that rep, ignore the beat if you're halfway through a rep. Well done, okay. Let's move on to that hollow, whether you're picking the half hollow or the full. Head and upper back off the floor, lower back flat. Onto your feet for that narrow split squat. So you start with one toe about 6 inches behind the front leg if you're in the split squat variation. All your weight should be shifted into the front leg. Knee's going to come forwards over the front toe. Trying to keep upright posture. I'm using my arms for counterbalance. Trying to minimize any assistance of that back leg. You could even delay that back foot coming down till the last second and then release the help once you're out the bottom. Switch to the other side. So if you want to make it more advanced, take that back foot off, doing a single leg squat, just catching yourself in the bottom 20%. It's a good progression up towards a pistol squat without having to do the full thing. Great job. Okay, onto those pike push-ups or the pike negatives. Onto the dead bug now. Make sure that lower back is not losing contact with the floor. We're trying to work your transverse abs, which is like a corset muscle that helps you maintain good core tension. If you're arching your lower back, it takes the point out of the exercise. I recommend on that, if you can't stop arching your back, then just don't put your legs as low, or just hold the up braced position instead of doing the drops until your abs get stronger to do the full thing. Well done, there's 2 rounds down, just 1 to go, and then we're going to move on to some mobility exercises, which will actually be a challenge for some of those as well. Onto the hollow hold. If you're enjoying this workout, you do fancy more of a sets and reps style plan, I've got an ebook called the Calisthenics Evolution Plan, which you should check out in the description of this video after the workout. Switching sides. Well done, that's the main strength section complete. We've got some mobility work that we're going to move on to. So if you sit on your mat, we're going to do 7 mobility exercises, 50 seconds on, 10-second transitions, starting with some 90 knee drops. So drop both down to one side, lean forwards, swiveling over. So we've got these 90 angles at the knees. Each time you make contact with the floor with both knees, lean your chest as if you're trying to touch your chest bone on your ankle. You can do this with your hands behind you like I am to support, or you could have your hands hovering out front the whole time like this. Depends how flexible you are. I like to use my hands behind because it helps keep a much more upright posture. These will get a little bit more challenging throughout the exercises. Okay, next we're going to go for an upward dog into a reach and squat. So I'm going to do my upward dog hovering off the floor like this. So squeeze the glutes, hover. You can do it lying on the floor as well. I'm going to step a bit wider as I drop into a squat and repeat. So we're going to go upward dog, hovering hips, engage glutes. And then going to drop the hips back, step a little wider, knees out wide. Keep your fat hands flat the whole time. I like to alternate onto the knuckles sometimes. Okay, I'm going to fold my mat over a few times to give myself a better knee cushion. We're going to do a kneeling hip to hamstring. So lean the back leg, hip forwards, and then straighten, drop the chest over the quad, and repeat. So hip flexor stretch on the back leg, engage in the back glute, point the toe, drop the chest, keep some length to the spine. You shouldn't have to drop far. If you keep the tailbone tucked under, ribs drawn in, and engage that back glute, you won't need to go far into that hip flexor to feel it. And then folding in half, trying to keep some length to the spine on that hamstring variation. Stay on this side for all 50 seconds, and then we'll move onto the other side. Okay, same again, but on the other side, so switch knees.
If you're looking to level up your training and experience significant strength development, try my Calisthenics Evolution Plan, available as a one-off ebook and also included in the TPT Studio members area via the workout plans section. The plan includes 4 meticulously crafted reps and set style calisthenics workouts for optimal strength development. Each exercise includes beginner, intermediate and advanced options with video demos, making it suitable for all abilities and giving you progressions to work up through. Check it out via the link in this video's description after your workout.
Okay, onto the feet now. We're going to do a sumo squat, and we're going to transition it into a split squat. So you're going to sumo squat, and then switch into a split squat, back up and down into the sumo, and then the other way into that split squat. Nice wide knees, toes pointing out for the sumo squat, and then both feet point in one direction. Engage the glute on the back leg for the split squat. You should be able to get an adductor stretch as we sit into this deep sumo position. And then a hip flexor quad stretch down here as you drop into that split squat. This will be a little bit tiring on the legs as well. Now we're going to go into an alternating RDL with a reach. So single leg RDL, reaching nice and far, alternating sides. If you're struggling for balance, just cut out the reach, still do the single leg RDL, and hold onto a wall instead. Let's try and keep the back toe pointing down. Let's try not to turn it into an adductor stretch by opening the hip out. Trying to keep it on the hamstring by pointing that toe down. Okay, finishing the whole routine now with a Kang squat, hands behind the ears. I want you to hinge into a good morning. Once we're here, we're going to sink into a squat. Then we're going to lift the hips, face the floor, back into that good morning. Hinge through to the top and repeat. So pull the hips back, drop the hips down, rise the hips up, draw the hips through. So hinge, squat, hips back up into this good morning position and through. Great job, that's the workout complete. Let me know in the comments below, how did you find that and where in the world are you following along from? I truly do love to hear that. Here's a quick static stretch cool down you can do right now, or if you want to keep working out, here's a calisthenics core workout. See you in one of those two videos.